I love that we have a mix of all of our friends and family, and we're all, from the same community. Definitely grab your crystals, your cards, maybe like a pen. I'm just hearing that there's going to be some nuggets shared, so maybe you want to jot something down, or if something comes up for you and you're feeling like maybe you need to chat with somebody later on. I have a couple crystals here that I always keep on me. I wear all types of cool little like trinkets and talismans. And I think what we'll do is today's going to be a little bit different. It seems like every call we're just switching it up. I did want to share some of my shirt here. It's the last call before Halloween, and this actually is on par with a lot of the themes that JJ has brought up, because she was talking about like bones, if you remember, and a lot of us are experiencing some spinal activations. The spaces in between your spine, even though this is like Halloween themed, it's very like on par. It's very like on the cute little button nose for what we're talking about. I've been chatting with a couple people like receiving activations in our spine, seeing light up and down our central column, our central spine as well. There's been a lot of things coming in the field like for the lungs, and there's this throat activation going around right now, which I'm experiencing currently, and some of my friends are experiencing another round of throat attunement and activation and collective clearing. But yeah, I think what we'll do is maybe we can have Leni kind of give us a little preview, and then we'll turn it over to Natalia, and then I'll drop us in, and then Leni will take over for a majority of the remainder of the call, if that sounds okay to everybody.
Okay. So I created the journey today with the excursion in mind, to Kemet, and I also saw there were some comments about the Library of Alexandria and some other specific locations, and so essentially what we'll do is we are going to calibrate to the sun and some solar consciousness codes, and then we will travel together back towards Alexandria. We'll land there, and then we're going to go on a super fun, interactive, connective journey into inner Earth. And so essentially the idea for the journey is we're going to start at the top of the Nile and end at Mount Sinai, and just have a beautiful coalescing kind of 0 point calibration for the journey itself, just to hold space for any and all the things that will be dropping in for everyone going. And obviously anything that's aligned for any of us that are not going, to just helping to support the field and hold space for the journey and for our own personal integrations as the energies shift. And so thank you for being here, and thank you for participating and supporting and holding the container with us. And with that, I think I'm complete. I'll turn it over to Natalia.
Thank you so much, Crystalline. That was so beautiful. It got me so excited just to go into that journey. And thank you so much, Brother Glenn, for organizing it, creating this field, because I find it so, so important. Even before you went, I had this vision almost like tag your it, because I went in June and then you were going in September, and I had the vision for November. So I was like, okay, let's merge and co-weave, continue to co-weave those frequencies. For me, what's been coming in today strongly, and with Emilio's call too, is the Sphinx. So I just want to bring into awareness a little story. I don't know how many of you are aware. Sphinx in between his paws is a kind of like a creation that called Dream Stella that was put there a while ago, but this Thutmose, this prince who fell asleep in the shadow of the Sphinx and had a vision of Ra coming in and asking him to clear the sand from the statue, from the Sphinx, and from his own mind, And it was almost like that initiation to clear any stagnant energies, anything that you have in your mind or in your awareness, in your field. Because once he did that, his like dream that he envisioned started coming through for him, for his environment. And it was almost like this initiation between Ra, the consciousness, the solar logos, and the human divinity inside him, and that connection, that triality, I want to say, was established beside the Sphinx. And it's very, very strong energetic point that many souls go there either to share a dream or just connect to that consciousness. And it's very, you can say, a portal, a grid point that many light workers use to connect and activate. So just visualize being in that space and connect to it energetically, because it's very, very powerful. That's it for me. Thank you so much.
Yay! Thank you, Sister Natalia. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So grateful to every single person who is here, who is joining us today on this call, and also those who are listening to the playback, or they're here visiting with us energetically, etherically, in the astral. Really, really excited to co-create, co-weave with you today. There will be kind of a guided portion, but I just want to let you know that as we go throughout the call, we'll kind of open sacred space. We'll have kind of a guided portion, and really what we like to do is co-channel and co-weave together. So I just want to let you know, so absolutely hang in there. Feel free to type into whatever comes to you into the chat. As we're starting to open our sacred space together, I'll help us drop in here. Feel free to start settling into your body, settling into your breath. You can kind of lower your gaze, close your eyes, drop off camera if you need to. Do whatever is most aligned for you. We are here to support you. We are here to pre-grid with you. We are here to hold sacred space together as a tribe, as a community, as a family. So I always like to start with some somatic movement. This helps us to kind of start arriving into our body, getting fully present. So start to get your wiggles in, starting to get some movement. You got the spine frequency. There is this kundalini energy that's available. It's kind of been weaving in the field. Starting to find your center, starting to inhale. I always like to get some wiggles in. You can watch me, but I think there's an invitation here to absolutely do your own stretching. I'll kind of walk us through some stuff here. You can do some like kind of cat and cow. I love yoga. A lot of people on the call were really into yoga. You do some like cat and cow in your seat. So if you imagine like a cat just kind of arching your back, and then a cow kind of like they're the opposite of one another. So I guess you can probably see me like this, like cat, and then like cow, cat. I guess it could be camel too. Camel, right?
Hello,
Apparently,
Maggie.
hey, welcome in, Maggie. So good to see you, sister. Sending you so much love. We're just starting to drop in. Just finding your breath and your heart and your center, rounding your spine. I like to kind of hold my hands over the head here. Starting to stretch and starting to release our day. Whatever part of the world you're in, if your day is just beginning, most of us, it's in the afternoon. You can grab a wrist and like pull yourself over. Rounding your spine and really getting into the spaces in between here. Starting to release any like density, any misalignments in your back. Relaxing the neck, the top of the head. You can even like touch. I was just felt to kind of like touching my shoulders, the nape of the neck. Kind of that space in between your shoulder blades too. relaxing your jaw, unclenching your jaw. It's a common space. Opening and closing. You can do some like yeses and nos. Yes and then no. Starting to flow into your own rhythm. We were talking about there is a frequency of kind of kundalini, a lot of like spine activation coming in. That's available to you in the field too, and for many of us. Breathing in and starting, you can put a hand on your chest and feeling into your heartbeat. And I like to do the cactus too. You can put your elbows up 90 degrees and then pretend like you're just squeezing into your chest and your shoulders and opening your heart. Doing it with a smile too. It doesn't need to be work. Or you can just watch me too. That's always fun. Just starting to open your chakras, your central column, your central pillar. Slowly letting your breath start to deepen here. And you can imagine like inhaling that white or golden light. There's been a lot of plasma frequency as well. Anchoring into your body. Continuing your breath, and it's okay starting to relax and release. Give yourself permission here in this now moment to receive. You can say, I accept, I allow, I accept, I allow. My favorite is by a friend of mine. His name is Kai. He's a very, very magical soul. And he says, yes, thank you, more please. So I'm going to borrow that from him. And you can repeat after me, yes, thank you, more please. And we'll start to move into what I like to call a 3D breath here. I'll kind of talk you through it, or a holographic breath. And you can imagine the 3D breath, again, eyes closed, gaze down, whatever feels most aligned to you. You're going to inhale in through the front, in through your heart center or your heart chakra. Holding for 4, 3, 2, and then 1, and then breathing out through the back of your heart, allowing the breath to go around the sides. So it's a 3D breath because you're breathing in through the front of your heart, holding, and then allowing it to breathe out through the sides and out your back body. The next breath is going to be in from your left side, so you'll breathe in from your left side here, holding in your center or your heart, and then breathing out through the right. 3, 2, 1. In through your left, holding, squeeze, out through the right side, making a sound, sighing, buzzing, or humming. The last breath, you're going to breathe in through your root or earth star, up into your heart, holding for 4, and then breathing out. So it's a vertical breath. 3, 2, 1, from your root or earth star into your heart. Sip, hold. Breathing out through the crown and the soul star. And then last breath on your own here. 3, 2, 1. Biggest breath yet. Sip, hold. Out through your crown and soul star. Starting to notice what you're finding here. Allowing the unconscious to become conscious. breathing into the space around you, into the room. Now, as we open our sacred circle together, calling in your higher self, your oversoul collective, your highest, purest essence, or whatever verbiage feels most aligned to you. Yato utu utta ara. Inviting in your guides, helpers, friends that are in alignment with your intention, golden, crystalline, diamond, and above, gods, goddesses, deities aligned with that intention, temple keepers, priests and priestess, your personal councils that you may be working with, planetary or galactic, pertinent soul friends, pertinent soul aspects. Yapo uti siana ta'ara, Kiyoko Solarishi, dragon frequency, siana kata atiyoko uti siana ara. Angelic frequency, welcoming in Mama Gaia into our sacred space, 12D Armatena and above, the central sun, the frequency of unity consciousness, all of the galactic children, our inner child as well. And finally, inviting in the galactic harmonisticians. So the galactic harmonisticians, these are soul aspects of ours that have the capability to help you fully harmonize your field, fully harmonize your physical body. We've been working with this frequency of quantum harmonization. This frequency allows you to ground and fully anchor into yourself. You are safe, you are free and sovereign, and you may ask yourself how to call in this quantum harmonization frequency. And considering this an invitation to grid your physical body with your mental body, with your emotional body, together weaving them in a way, but also gridding and anchoring fully and deeper into yourself. At this time, you can go palms down to ground, palms up to soften and release. Starting to bring forward your intentions for this session, for this activation. Calling for your intentions now. Allowing your intention to crystallize. Maybe this is an intention that you always work with. Maybe this is an Egypt or Kemet specific intention, or perhaps you're calling forth from the field. Just calling it forward here now and breathing that intention in and holding that intention. I'll give you a couple moments of stillness. Feel free to state it out loud, say it silently, activating the field around you. Your words are powerful. Your intention is the most aligned frequency for this ceremony. Or maybe you're asking for clarity like I have been. Know that here today, within this 0 point frequency, that you will find that clarity. Taking a moment here before we shift to call in a field of quantum flow, stepping into this 0 point frequency and gaining access to all timelines, dimensions, space, realities, and the spaces in between. take some breaths here. Use your dial if you need to turn the dial down slightly, that's okay. And as we begin our journey here today, calling in that frequency of quantum harmonization, as you settle into this 0-point calibration, anything that is left for you to do, allow that to fall away, fully harmonizing into this space with whatever method feels most aligned to you. I'm going to use my breath, knowing that you are calibrated to this very quantum frequency and flow. You are a quantum creator. You are truly, truly limitless in every single way possible, both known and unknown. Feel free to sigh, buzz, hum, tone, sing. I can already hear some people singing, speaking light language as well. This will help you to self-calibrate. This sacred circle is open. Together we are within safe and sacred space. I am deeply, deeply honored to hold this space with you, to sit here with you, offering you deep love, deep gratitude to all of you, brothers and sisters. And now I'm going to turn it over to Leni. Thank you, I'm complete.
Okay. Do we still have music? Are we good? Perfect. So, as we come together in this harmonized space, let's take a couple of deepening breaths into our heart space, centering our awareness here. Deepening our connection to our heart, anchoring beyond the physical heart and into our eternal spark life. Connecting with Gaia's crystalline core, her iron heart. Coming together as one unified whole in this space, our lovely mother. See her in front of you, opening a door. She invites you to walk through. As we walk through the door together, we find ourselves tuning into the frequency of the sun. Remembering that the sun's temperature is merely a vibration, its cleansing fire is not hot. Gently deepening our connection to the 0-point calibration space within our hearts, allowing the flow of pure consciousness to align beautifully and perfectly for your listening. Connecting with your solar plexus and allowing it to guide the energy through you in perfect harmony with your whole field. Breathing deeply into your channel, your quantum pillar, allowing the beautiful quantum flow of 0 point energy to dissolve and wash away every aspect of your being that is ready to be harmonized at this time. Feeling that release as we allow this process in its perfect form, perfect flow, perfect harmony, deep alignment. Amplifying our connection to unity consciousness through the unified field. Bridging these connections with a beautiful, sparkly rainbow frequency. As you begin to light up in a whole new way. Let's take a moment to express our infinite gratitude to Papa Soul, our lovely local solar consciousness, for sharing his incredible energy with us. As we prepare to embark on this lovely journey together back towards Mother Earth, tuning into his pure frequency, feeling his cleansing flame as a gentle vibration. He sends us off with a hug and a kiss on the forehead, and he gives you a gift as you depart. Take a moment to sense this gift. You may see an object or simply feel an energy. And if you don't, please rest in the knowing that this gift could come to you physically during your trip, and perhaps you chose to experience it as a surprise recollection in the moment. Whatever the case may be, we honor your journey, and we express our love and gratitude to the Father of all life as we turn toward Earth and begin our descent together. Floating gently back towards our home planet, and feel the love emanating from the lands of Ken, and allowing that love to draw us in as we gently float closer and closer to her, landing above the Great Library of Alexandria. As we gather here together, feeling deeply into the energy of our infinite wisdom. Take a moment to rest in the quiet stillness, asking your guides if there's any pertinent information that you need to see here. and allowing it whatever time it needs to step forward. And you're bridging multidimensional connections in this space. So let's invite in all aspects of ourselves to harmonize our whole human experience. Welcoming every single all, every single all. As those aspects integrate with us, taking a few more breaths into our quantum pillar of light, and directing our attention to our heart space as we invite those parts and pieces of us home. Allowing them to come in all their divine forms, greeting them with open arms. Connecting, hugging, and coming together as one. It may help to sing or tone this moment, or bring through light language, or whatever mechanism resonates for you, this integration moment. As the octaves come together in vibrational frequency within our very core. From here, I'm being guided to open a portal to the core of inner earth. When you're ready, gently turn around as the door is behind you. You step into the portal. Notice the space around you change. Notice shapes on the wall and glimmers of light emanating from your body. Let's form a circle together. Hold hands in this beautiful space. As the grandmother weavers join us in song, we begin to see a representation of the tree of life in the middle of the circle between us. The tree is processing energy, upgrading all levels of its light through its direct connection to Source. And it asks for our love, our purity, our integrity. If you're willing to co-create with the tree in this purified form, gently witness the golden threads, pure consciousness, blossom from your heart space and magnetize to the tree. Equally beautiful flowers blossom from the tree and meet each one of your golden threads with delightful play, joyful grace, and unmatched adoration for one another. You feel the excitement of this beautiful expression deep within your core, deeper than you've ever felt before. You may feel called to shake, move, wiggle your body, to extend this excitement throughout your whole experience. So feel free to move your body in whatever way feels most aligned in this moment. This spark of energy is extremely contagious. Feels like laughter, spontaneous play. You begin to notice it changing you as the light from Source gifts you with upgrades that are perfect for you in this moment. Liquid light geometry begins to form in space and flow into the tree like a stream of consciousness, up-leveling the experience. You may see sunlight streaming through your veins, colorful bursts of energy springing to life, or simply a gentle wave of peace surrendering into you. Continue to wiggle, dance, and weave this light through you till it feels complete. As we progress through this process, you see the tree growing in size and stature. Swing sets and a tree house also appear and invite you to come play as we grow and harmonize together. Peter Pan and the Lost Boys join in the fun. A sword fight between branches. You see Tinkerbell flitting around, greeting all of us. Golden and rainbow dragons fly and weave through us too. Some of them landing on branches and singing. Some of us hopping on their backs to fly around. The love and excitement builds as this beautiful golden tree grows and grows and grows. It makes its way through all of Earth's layers, reaching towards the surface as we bridge this connection to inner Earth's crystalline iron core. The growing branches gently break surface ground and continue to reach upwards towards the sky. The air elementals now joining in our beautiful dance, weaving their energy into the tree as it solidifies into physical form. Those of us riding dragons land, and we all congregate again around the tree. We look around to notice we have emerged on the beautiful Mount Sinai. We express our gratitude to Mama Gaia through the grids of our Matena for collaborating with us in such a beautiful and powerful way. In your mind, you can still see the liquid light geometry pouring into the tree. You can feel the glowing energy emanating from you and the land all around you. Everyone is pleased. The joy and happiness is palpable. Taking a moment now to feel into the energy of the Nile River, falling on her primordial waters. She is supporting our journey at every level. Ask her to show you what you need to see in this moment. Allow her soft, golden energy to meet you where you are. In love, in peace, in harmony. She assists us in sealing this process with a stream of golden source light into our crowns. It encourages us to allow these codes to light you up and crystallize this experience in the most aligned way for you. And as we begin to make our way back to our body, she showers us with immeasurable love, ease, grace, and gratitude for your service. for your willingness to be here, for your devotion to unconditional love. Let's feel into that love as we begin to bring this journey to a close. And she's asking me to share a song to anchor and seal our lovely journey today. So you need to move and wiggle your body as you start to come back. Breathing deeply once more into our quantum pillar, into our heart space, into our love. And into this wonderful journey we're all playing together.
I'd gladly walk across the desert with no shoes upon my feet to share with you the last bite of bread I had to eat. I would swim out to save you in your sea of broken dreams. When all your hopes are sinking, let me show you what love means. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? I would whisper love so loudly every heart could understand that love and only love can join the tribes of man. I would give my heart's desire so that you might see. The first step is to realize that it all begins with you and me. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mine. Love can build a bridge. Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time? Don't you think it's time?
देखूं रात को खुल्लों दो ले
Thank you so much for going through this wonderful journey. And with that, I am complete.
Thank you so much, sister. That was so beautiful. I felt like the heart just kept opening and opening, and you added like layers and layers of crystallization. There's so many things that came through for me personally. I just want to show you something. I don't know if you went to Dr. Abida's library or like the bookstore that he owns. Did you want? So there's something I got from there that was beside me just as you were guiding us, and I just want to show you something. It's a, oh, I don't know if you see. It's a tree of life with many different beings and birds and dolphins, even at the bottom, like little fishes. And it was just something about it. It's made on papyrus, so that's why it's really hard. It's very thin paper. It's really hard to see. But when you were saying about the tree, right away, I like looked back and you said, look around. I looked around. It was right behind me. So it was such a beautiful confirmation. And another thing that came through when the song was playing about love can build a bridge, something almost like a phrase came through, and it's crystalline mother arc. And I was shown this kind of like we're building bridges, but it's arcs also that we're creating. And I was visualizing like Mount Sinai, Mount Shasta, we made one arc, and then Mount Kailash, Aurora went, we made another arc, and then different mountains, different points, different grid points, we're just making arcs. And even though the awareness can be like a holographic reality or a sphere, when we visualize it and making like a geometry of arcs, it turns into a flower of life. We're just continuing to like create petals and petals, and it's just such a beautiful visual that I've had in my awareness when you were guiding us. So thank you again. Thank you so much for this. And it's interesting that Alexandria also rang a bell. Dr. Abudi, Dr. Abidas, that we will visit with a few souls here, and Crystallini and Glenn and Devon, I think also visited, and Maggie, obviously. And I believe he is from Alexandria. Is it correct, Maggie? I think either his family lives there. So there's almost like that connection that our guide will be from there, and he's going to bring that frequency into our group's field. So that also was something that came for me. And then let's see, Hathor. So Mount Sinai for me is like the Hathor frequency. And it's almost that, again, the tri-wave, that Hathor, Ra, and Sphinx came into that arc, into that formation of that divine feminine, the masculine frequency, and the Sphinx is like that child that merges the humanity and divinity together into one form. And we're asked almost to connect to that frequency, understanding while we are having human experience, the divine frequency is always present, and we're almost like balancing, harmonizing that frequency within the self and then project it outside of us. Yes, and then yes, so Hathor, Ra, Sphinx, Trinity, and like I shared before, the Sphinx has, and Maggie probably has more information about it, but the Sphinx has dream stella, and it's almost like asking us. I don't know if it was in a song when we were making a footsteps on the ground, on the sand, walking bare feet on the sand. I was visualizing that when we walk in our human experience, we collect unintentionally or intentionally the grains from the sand. It's almost like imprinting into our light bodies, into our crystallized bodies, and we're asked to clear right now, to clear anything that does not align with our frequency, with our path, without pure essence. And it's almost like visualizing the sand, like when you shake the body, the water and the sand starts flowing. So it's almost like having that 0 point in the body, let the sand settle, and then visualize it being crystallized within you. It's almost like you're transfiguring the sand of other people's souls, footprints that left an imprint on you, and you're changing it, changing the configuration, changing the pattern to create something new, not to repeat previous footsteps, but make your own and visualize your own path, your own dream, your own creation, and step fully into that path, that flow, like the Nile calling. And yes, so that's been I had so many more other things, but this is feels like complete for now. So thank you so much for activating, for creating that flow of awareness from your beautiful, beautiful meditation. Thank you. I'll jump back because another thing came through. Maggie shared with us, and I personally haven't been physically in this reincarnation to Mount Sinai, but it has a cave. And something about it, when you were sharing about the golden waters, I almost had this vision that when we go into the cave, there's a pool, like a vibrational pool in a circle that we will gather. And the water, the golden water, almost asks to leave your like a footstep or connects to your hand and receive that golden frequency, receive that clarity in that cave. So that's the plan for 1111 that we will co-create with Maggie, Aurora, Rachel, Cassandra, and many other beautiful, beautiful souls. Thank you. Now for sure complete.
Thank you for those shares. That's lovely. One thing I was getting in the sort of inner earth cave that we were in was lots of different sparkles on the walls, and it was reminding me of the day when we went to Abydos. I totally synchronistically did not plan this. I didn't know when I was getting dressed that day what would end up happening, but I ended up wearing a shirt with sequins on the front. And Abydos has these like little skylight cutouts on the roof, and so the time of day that we went, the sun was coming in such a way that like it was hitting us, and so it was like hitting our faces and our bodies. And so the shirt that I was wearing having sequins, it made this really beautiful, it was like I was lighting up like a disco ball all over the walls of this temple, to the degree that like the guards of the temple had to come in and like make sure I wasn't doing anything like I wasn't supposed to be doing. So I just wanted to share that with all of you that are going, because there's lots of different layers and ways to play. And I'm just really excited for all of you, and I can't wait to hear about your journeys and your adventures. And actually, I'd also love to hear from anybody if they received and are feel aligned to share any gifts from the sun. That when we were walking through the meditation, he sort of handed me this like giant disco ball. And so I thought that was really special and neat. Thank you. I'm complete.
Okay, well, since I definitely did receive from grandfather's son, wasn't it grandfather? Is that what you were saying, or yes or no? Okay, well, either way, from the son, I just remember it being grandfather, and ended up receiving a seal that represented the completion and sealing of being completely whole from the being the 13th arc of all the arcs that I've been part of in service to Gaia. That there's been 12. I asked about lifetimes in service to Gaia, and it was explained that it's not lifetimes, it's arcs, because they could be like, there's, yeah. So anyhow, and within some of those, like the Alexandrian sister temple priestess that was a priestess of recording all the frequencies of everyone. There's emissary of energy that helps the earth of Gaia just kind of prepare and get ready for living beings to be on it and different things like that. But all of it was coming together. They all came, like there was so many, and many of my fractals, the aspects came back that, but many of them are very much about being that support, being that stabilizing and harmonizing of me, but mainly of civilizations and everyone around me. And that's ultimately one of the biggest, that's like my higher self doesn't like to call it and put labels on like having an actual name of a mission, but that's really what it was all about. It's just harmonizing and bringing laughter and joy back to civilizations, helping them to remember how to laugh and sing and all that good fun stuff. So going into the big the playground, like all of a sudden I found myself going into these reoccurring dreams that I used to have all the time, that I could leap into the sky and I would just be like kind of hovering. I didn't fly, I hovered, kind of like I was the Hulk, just going from mountaintop to mountaintop. So all of a sudden I was a Hulk. And just within the last week, I ended up recognizing that I had seen some new fractals of aspects coming. And one of them is a giant from the inner earth. And so I was like, oh, and then all of a sudden he came up and he started like playing with the tree, because he was like, the tree was little compared to him. And he was like, ooh, he was like just making it all cool and everything, and just like putting his energy. It's like, oh yeah, we're gonna do this and we're gonna do that, and they're gonna have fun. And did want to play on a dragon, but I don't know why I didn't. I felt like I was one of the dragons. I know I have some aspects that are dragons too. So but yeah, it was all amazingly just beautiful. The sacred geometry as well. I'm pretty sure, I think we all just, I mean, I don't know. And we all are sacred geometry. Okay, there we go. Thank you. That's just how it is. So it's just all of our, yeah, it was just all of us just permeating everything and coming out and just beautifying. I definitely saw glimpses of being in Avatar and kind of being like that, but then it was more of all the visions, everything that I know that I've learned just in these last, 8-9 months, everything compiled and being in the place where I felt like is where I belong, my home, with all of me together, finally in me. And it was just, thank you. It was wonderful. And I love that song. I haven't heard that song in ages. Love Can Build a Bridge. So that was wonderful. I did kind of get a little interrupted. I didn't plan on having people around. So all of a sudden, I think I started crying, and then that song came on. Then I just started crying even more, and it was great. So yeah, just working on the relationship of being okay to be me. So, I am complete. Thank you.
Thank you for feeling safe to be you here with us. We see you, we honor you, we love you.
Thank you so much, Leslie. I also want to add, when you were just sharing, so many things were trickling into you. Just like, it's almost like you said, all the aspects coming back into that oneness. And something you shared, very interesting, the 13. the 13 has been coming up for me very strongly too. It's almost like that tone that we're activating the arcs. It's almost like that frequency to connect to. And my tone actually in the Mayan kind of like astrology, you can say the Mayan calendar talking is 13. So it's so interesting that it's like a coffee. Yes, and it's so interesting that I actually open up the 13 is the ray of universal movement. And that's what you were saying. Like you were just like jumping, like flying, and like you constantly like connecting different points. And it's almost like you're activating the arc by being in that motion, by being in that frequency of continuing to like connect, 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 and creating that pattern. And the foundation of self within the foundation of essence of self is combined with the rhythm of the Trinity too. It's been coming up a lot. And the cosmic tone 13 touches you with the hand of the unseen forces and creates that change pattern that you are asked to constantly change and evolve and change the aspect around you. And yeah, so lots of confirmation for me as well when you were sharing. It's almost like we were doing it together, dragon in dragon essence. So definitely resonates. So thank you so much for sharing.
I don't really have words, and everybody who's spoken already, as always, is like I I resonate. I'm excited about it because I've kind of been waiting for this for a while. And so for my own, like I knew my missions, like one of my missions. So like I'm really in awe actually, because like it's a different type of celebration. And like for me personally, just as like I like recorded this like whole like arc like prophecy thing so that I could like trust myself and trust my channel and like witness. And we're all here, and every single one of us is very much like a professional. Like we've done it a million times. We are all those things that um, we don't like to give ourselves credit to be. Like we feel like we're like not allowed to say those things. But like I think right now, the beautiful thing about what's happening, especially in this arc, is that like we don't have to worry about like that anymore. Like just be. And I love that. It's such a safe, that's the immaculate like piece of it, right? Like, isn't that what everybody wants? Isn't that what the children want? And aren't we the children? And yeah, we are all those things. So it's really exciting. So it's an honor. Leni, as always, whether you designed the journey or added in like perfection, as always. Like honestly, I felt like I was at home. Like I was at home, but I wasn't just me being at home, everybody was at home. And that is something that I don't have words for truly. So thank you. And I pulled like a card because like that was the amount of like physical energy I could do as I'm like it's all still happening and streaming. It's really beautiful. But the one I got from the Earth Warriors Oracle, where are you? Ah, this guy. It's the circle cross. I can't do it. Yes, I can do it, but it just doesn't want me to do it. But that just means rare intersection of heaven and earth. So there's our little bridge between all one. So thank you. I'm complete for now.
Thank you, sister. I just want to share that when you were sharing, I saw this almost like a message for you. You are the dream weaver. It's almost like was so strong, and for some reason the color like violet was coming through. I don't know if you connected that, but it was just like dream weaver. You're completely activating, and you're in your kind of like birthing solar return portal right now, and it's so strong that you are like sharing and gifting us your frequency because it's almost like that reverse connection to the Ra, and it's so strong that it's almost like a dreamy frequency that you're sharing. So I just want to like witness that and reflect back that it's so beautiful. Thank you.
I don't know if I told you that my birthday is Wednesday. Did I tell you that? I don't
Yes.
like when you said that, like that I'm in my solar return, I'm like, oh my God, how do you know that? Because I like shared it but didn't really share it. So like it peaks on like this third eye atlas thing, and like we're just gonna disco ball. Everything is pretty much the like literally that's the only even words I can say. It's just like we're just gonna disco ball. So I always do that emoji with the rainbow and the yeah. I like can't always do it. I put it everywhere because that's what it is. To describe it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. So thank you. I was just like, you tripped me out. I'm like, did I tell people that Wednesday is my birthday? And how do they know that it's literally my solar return? So thank you. I'll be 36. So 3 + 6 = 9. And that's pretty cool too. I have one more thing to add because you said the grandmother weavers, the golden grandmother weavers, who I like can hold that frequency with. I have a part of me that's that. And Teresa is one too. And like we like feel like some like that we're supposed to meet on Wednesday. So I just wanted to name that also the weavers, like like there's something about the weavers on Wednesday, the weavers. So very on point. Thank you.
I'll share what's coming up for me here and now. So I'm really embraced by the mycelium network. And what it's showing me is normally when I see and work with the mycelium network, it's like very vast and almost like a distant view. But right now, in this space hot time, she's very big in her strokes. Almost like when you see like a banyan tree. Have you seen the roots of like a banyan tree? They're like very big and very flowy, like almost like serpent-like. So she's showing me like just her roots almost in a very playful slide-like fashion. And also she's showing me she's asking me to remember um, as below, so above. So as we are journeying through lands, any lands, um, just to remember to work with the frequencies below, almost like she's saying like start there, remember that we start from below and we build from below. And so we create what is above from below. And so she's just reminding me of that reflection, like she's showing me the mirror of as below, so above, as above, so below, which is also very present in the ancient Kemetic wisdom schools as a philosophy. Yeah, so I just wanted to share that that mycelium network is very present, which also, Leslie, when you were sharing about your Hulk reoccurring dream and jumping from mountain to mountain, like she was showing me the waves of the network underneath, like also moving in that playful manner. So it was like, remember, as below, so above the mountains, like this whole connection between this earth space. So yeah, just wanted to share that with you guys. Thank you.
Just to say something about that in regards to the mycelium earlier today, I was kind of going in my thought process of just different things that could be happening, reconnected with someone in Hawaii or connected with someone, different options of building communities in Hawaii. And I've spent time in Hawaii, and I was specifically thinking I have the number of one of my old neighbors that I lived on a community, and he specifically taught us how to plant the mycelium underneath all the gardens to inoculate the land to make everything better. So when you said the as below, or so, what is it? The so as below, so above. It was like in order for the plants, the food for us to be good, we needed to have the below good and inoculated by all the mycelium. Anyhow, and that was
Well, I think
something that I
too, yeah, that's amazing. And it's just reminds us also just how much nature is such a brilliant teacher and a wisdom keeper, without actually like saying anything with words. It's just in the deep listening, which is like what we do when we go to the land, is the deep, deep listening, for us to recalibrate the origin story, so that we can build from there. So I love what you're saying about the soil and, this kind of like regeneration of soil so that we can basically eat the fruits of that frequency, that delicious frequency, high vibrational, high oscillating frequency. And this for me is very present right now in some of the conversations, like just having in life about, like how do we move forward as a humanity into a purity consciousness, and um, how do we remember that purity consciousness, and talking with some of our groups about mental health, and really, there's so many world problems out there to solve, and we were dialing it back to like the being, like the being, and then the creators of the beings. And so if we look at ourselves as the creators of the beings, because we are the birth givers, right? Like we are the birth givers, we are the seed layers, right? So we are the soil. So it's taking care of ourselves, but it's also like regenerating the soil of humanity, which is like our hearts, our heart space, and like really remembering that love consciousness and sharing that so abundantly, which now I'm like circling back to like, what did I feel immediately when I came into this circle? And I think, Leni, you were saying, like we were talking about intentions, and you were, so I was just like really flowing in that. And so what my intention was, which is again just circling back to all of this, was to love abundantly and to receive love abundantly. And I think that for me, and thank you for this forum to be able to like, bring it into the space, to live somewhere outside of my head. And, just like plant that seed. I want to plant that seed, abundant love in balance, coming in and going out. And, just plant some of those seeds here and now in this space. Thank you.
Yeah, I love that you brought that up. Thank you, everybody, for their magical shares. Thank you, Maggie. The quantum mycelium, all of the different elements were really stepping forward for me at different times in the guided meditation. When we got to Mount Sinai, I was seeing a lot of things in Alexandria and then Mount Sinai, and I'm not super familiar with that, so that's like kind of where my inner child was like really curious, because I haven't really like thought about Mount Sinai really, even though I've been to Egypt a couple times. I was really being held energetically, and even on our trip before, and we're here to support Natalia and all of our sisters and your crew and your family. But I was really held by the Nile, specifically when I was there. The Red Sea really held us. All of the personal, interpersonal interactions is like, I think it's so amazing, all these temples and these ancient places and these ceremonies, but really I remember the most and what I feel the most, like in my heart space and what I'm remembering and like calling forward in this now moment, is all the friends that I made, all those interactions, all those late night shares that we had together. I had a lot of late night interactions when people were essentially like asleep, and we were on the deck of the Noon Goddess, and there's this full moon out, and it's just very magical. The Nile is like really holding you, and we're sharing, but we're also kind of like healing one another too. And there's like this nurturing, very like sun frequency. I was thinking about our time that we had spent in the Red Sea afterwards, and I know that the trip is going to be a little bit different, but I was really intrigued, and my inner child just really wanted to play with the frequency of Mount Sinai and the Hathor temple, and then there was like the cave. So I was just kind of really exploring that space and like walking along the path, because I can just kind of like imagine, like remember, right? We're talking about this frequency of remembrance. It's not the first time. If you're on this call or you're listening to the playback, a lot of us were remembering many, many different things at this point. And in that remembrance, there is this like deep knowing in our physical body. So we're talking a lot about like the spine, talking about the lungs. We're feeling these different things, these thoughts and these emotions. And you mentioned mental health. And what I really love about our community and your team and your crew, Mo comes to mind, Abudi, all of the many friends that you shared with us while we were there too, is that it's really this safe and sacred space that you can like fully kind of like be held in. You can fully like experience like the true deep remembrance frequency of what is Egypt, what is Kemet. To me, I have a parallel life there in Kemet in Egypt, and I'm deeply, deeply connected on many different ways. But really, what I remember and what I think about, what I hold dear, is the many interactions and the words and the frequencies and the love that we shared, the conversations that I had with people. That's what I remember most about being in Egypt very recently, and just sharing with you all that we talked about the water codices, the water codex, the quantum harmonization. The water really like holds us, it activates us. We swam in the Nile, and that's like an activation, just swimming in the Nile itself. So I'm just really, really excited for everyone that's going, super excited to, kind of co-weave and co-channel and support you in whatever way feels most aligned. So I am complete. Thank you.
So I studied with an oracle in Egypt for a few years, and when we started, after about maybe a year or so of working together, she was like, okay, next time you come, I'm going to take you home. And I was like, okay, like wherever, I'm down. So long story short, very long, they wound up taking me to Sarbit. And it was home. It was home. And my galactic, my most resonant galactic family are the Lyrans. And I felt like they were there to welcome me home. So I actually had an encounter there with the Lyrans, and I met Hathor. And I met a lot of folks out there. And so again, long stories, lots of long stories, but I wound up becoming very close with the sheikh of the Alakat tribe. So there's 12 tribes out in the Sinai Peninsula, and the Alakat tribe is the second largest. And they actually are the keepers of the land of Sarbit El Kadim, so Wadi Sarbit, and this is where the secret Temple of Hathor is up on this mountain. And around the area are these caves, like all around the range are just these like really wild, mystical caves. You're like, that's someone's house. Like someone lives there, and you know that the beings live there. You know them. You know there's a whole, like, I'm very much into the rock people. I don't know if anybody else here is like a rock people person. But they're like, this is like, hello, welcome home to Fraggle Rock. You're there. So in these caves, they used to be very active turquoise mines. So full of turquoise. You can still find turquoise there now. Every time I go, I find turquoise, raw stone. There's also a ton of lava stone there too. So you knew that there was active land there at one time, and this could be millions of years ago. But really, really galactic lava stone. There's so much element there. There's so many elements. There's also a lot of obviously evidence of water being at certain levels. So this whole range was underwater at one point millions of years ago. So there's also a lot of evidence of the ancient boats, the solar boats. There's also a lot of ancient connection to the Hebrews, to Hebrew language, the formation of Hebrew language. Um, um, and a lot of different galactic hieroglyphs out there in the mountains. This temple is like no other temple in Egypt. It is ruins, so it's not like some of these other beautiful, really restored columns are all up and everything's easy to see and it's definitely ruins. But it's profound. It's profound ruins. It's dated to be the oldest temple found, some say on Earth. They haven't really been able to date it, but there is evidence of even what we know as monoatomic gold. So if anybody's familiar with that, it was said that Akhenaten, who was an ancient Egyptian pharaoh who was known as a hybrid human, that this was a laboratory for him because he knew that in this specific vortex was the monoatomic gold. So I could speak on that for a long time, but yeah, just a fun fact. So yeah, I've been there many, many times and definitely consider it for me in Egypt. Like this was my 0 point. This was where I came in. And I think many of us actually, came in because I have been shown that Hathor was a shepherdess when the galactic chaos was happening and we needed to find solace somewhere. She brought us here to Earth through the portal of Sinai. So this temple is super sacred in the sense that it is like her lair for the Lyran community, if you will, that we were displaced. And so we relive that here on Earth, right? Like, look at this, the way we migrate from country to country and we call each other immigrants, which is hilarious. Like, we came here too. So for me, this area specifically is our Ellis Island, if you will. So yeah, a lot of magic in this land. And it's the Sinai Peninsula is vast. The longest stint that I have done there just in Sinai is 9 days in Sinai because it's big, it's not just this area. This is just a small area, and we come here because of the temple. But there are many, many, many beautiful, incredible sacred sites throughout the Sinai Desert. One of the more popular areas is Mount St. Catherine, where there's a very famous monastery that I think it's Greek Orthodox. They kind of settled there because they knew that this was such a sacred land and had so much magic. And they say that this is where Moses gave the Ten Commandments, and that's a whole other story. Interesting, a lot of different theories about it, but actually, there's a lot of evidence of that in Sarbit el-Qadim. So yeah, a lot of mystery out there. And if you have ever had the chance to spend time with the Bedouins, um, gosh, you feel like you're almost like with the first people. You're like, wow, you guys are like super connected to the earth. Not like the hippies we know. Like, I'm talking like this is like the OG hippie, Like they climb mountains with no shoes and like in dresses. You're like, wow, that's fucking awesome. And yeah, there's just so much mystery to this really, really special place. So I feel super privileged that I was that I had a shepherdess that took me there, and that I was able to create family there, and really get the privilege of the land. So it's like my honor, it's like my honor, and I am pretty particular about who go I take because it's super galactic. Like it's not really like a beginner thing. You gotta be tapped in, turned on for it. So yeah, I'm super excited for those on this call. Hi, who are all coming. It's gonna be really awesome. And Leni and Glenn, I hope you come back someday and do Sinai with us. It would be amazing. Yeah, I do like just Sinai sometimes, like not a temple tour, but just like a Sinai trip. And like anywhere from 5 to, like I said, 9 days. And that's like, it's like camping, but it's really glamping because they are the world-class campers, like full on, like they'll set up a city for a night, you know? So yeah, thanks for letting me share about that. I wanted to just give some context to the area and share that with you guys. Thanks. If anybody ever has any questions about it, you can always ask me. I'm so happy to share. Actually, there's some great, I have a great book that this group put together I have it on my coffee table, and I have some on the Noon Goddess too. So for those who are coming, find that book somewhere on the Noon Goddess before we go and tap in there because it's really beautiful, beautiful stories and pictures of the area. Thank you. Complete.
Well, I've always got something to share, but look, this has been on my altar. So, the great tree you were talking about, there's so many signs and synchronicities with so many things. Glenn and Leni, I just finished the Galactic activations with JJ, so I've informally met you there. And Maggie, where you keep talking about the Lyra course, I have that on my list to do as well. I purchased that, and last night I was wide awake. The universe is like, do that course before you go. And I'm like, where's the time for everything? There's so much going on. But there's so many things that stood out that I need to share. The raw frequency, like over the summer, especially summer solstice, when the sun is highest in the sky. I was listening to the raw theta brainwave states. I have all of them, right? Baal Kadmon, if anybody knows who that is, Ball or Baal Kadmon. He has all these brainwave states for all the Egyptian goddesses and angels and everything, and they're only like $3. So for 2 months, full on, I was just listening to that, all the time, and then I also took a sovereign healer course, to stand in your own sovereignty, right? Uh, and the number 9 has been mentioned several times throughout this. And the 9th house on the birth chart wheel is the house of God, ascended masters, angels, and ascension and your beliefs and foreign travel. So that's really big. And we're also in the 9 universal year, which is, closing out this frequency, closing out this timeline. And 9 is the number of completion of education and wisdom and knowledge, and you turn it over and it becomes a 6 for abundance. It's literally where you quantum leap into a new timeline, which we are doing because we have a grand water trine happening right now that's happening for the next 3 months, which is extremely rare. It just doesn't happen because it's with all the outer planets, and the outer planets are the most galactic, right? And impactful, where you're talking about, all the galactic beings and, where we're going and what we're doing. Um, and then the number 13, that's Venus's number. That's the goddess number. People think that that's, a bad luck number, but, it's these names that we've been given, like witch, right? Witch means healer. You are a healer, right? And so these words we've been given, or these numbers we've been given for bad luck, it's really just to prevent us from being able to step into that magic. And so 13 is a very sacred number, especially if you're Venus ruled, like, Libra rising, or Taurus sun, moon rising. You're a Venetian goddess. And so that brings me into Glenn, where you were talking about the spine and the lungs. Saturn is our spine. Saturn is the planet of the earth energy and karma, timing, and destiny. And he just, he's retrograde right now, finishing up a cycle in Pisces, which is our past life energy, and all of that coming to a culmination over the last 30 years. And he rules over the spine and the earthly energy and what we came here to do. So, all that past life energy coming forward, closing that cycle, launching into, because next year will be the 10 portal, right? Which is really 1, right? You pray to heaven, you ground that energy down on earth, master manifestation number. So, there's these huge timelines opening. And that brings me into the fact that, right now, we didn't even need to be taken into that 0-point field, because we are there right now. The planets are all in the liminal world right now, because they're backing up and they're at 29 degrees. They're finishing out these cycles. And that's why we're going into this grand water trine. So, while we're on this trip in Egypt, we're already in the liminal world. We are all there because of where the planets are. And, in Egypt, the Nile River, like, are you kidding? That's where it all started, death, life, rebirth. The Nile River rules over that energy, and this grand water trine where these planets are lined up. That means they're all in water signs. And again, it's all about closing these timelines so we can quantum leap into the future. And, and then talking about, the lungs, right? So important. I just did an activation with Ken Lloyd specifically for the lungs. We hold our grief there. We hold our memories there. It's so important to clear those out. And then where you're talking about the throat, where the planets are, Uranus right now, who just came here, which is galactic. And Uranus is the planet of sudden shocks and surprises and breakthroughs and the future. He is in Gemini right now after 85 years. It's a once in a lifetime thing that's happening. And he is backing up right now to finish a cycle and go into Taurus. And this is where we get into that 0-point liminal field, because, within 3 degrees activation is when you're there. So 29, 0, 1, 2, right? And so he's going back and he's closing up a cycle in Taurus. Taurus is the earth energy, which is all about our five senses. You know, it's our finances, it's our food, it's our self-worth, it's our beauty, it's our possessions. And he's getting ready on the 9th. There's a number 9, right? To go back into Taurus and close out a cycle since 2018. What does that add up to? And 11, what is that? Self mastery, right? And then the 11th house is, you know, our biggest hopes and dreams come true, which is ruled by the joy of Jupiter, which is the God frequency, and everything coming together for oneness and wholeness and wisdom and knowledge. And it's just really beautiful. So these activations and this timeline that we're quantum leaping into is way more powerful than you could possibly know. So and Neptune also, Neptune is going retrograde, and I'll finish up here because I can like go on forever, right? um November 7th, which is an 11-7, right? So we're going to be in the 11th month, you know, self mastery, right? But 7 is really powerful because 7, especially if you have a 7 in your birth chart anywhere, is it goes vertical and horizontal, so it accesses both planes. So 7 is highly spiritual. So Neptune is all spirit consciousness oneness. Neptune is the Nile River, and he's going retrograde, going back into Pisces for the last time, and he's finishing up a 14-year cycle. So from like 2012 until now, he's finishing up that cycle of, you know, anything that you've been through, you know, traumas, triggers, you know, magic, mysticism, this spiritual awakening, right? Helping you bring all of that to closure. But he's also finishing up a 164-year cycle because it took him that long to go around the sky, and then he's going to launch into this brand new cycle with, you know, areas of, you know, what we want to start and create moving forward, with Saturn for the first time in a lifetime. So that is what puts us into the zero consciousness. We are there now, and it really is about your dreams and your visions and where you want to move forward. So it's a really powerful time to set your intentions before you go to sleep. You know, work with lavender for protection. You know, work with your amethyst, but most especially if you have a phantom quartz crystal. Woo! Have you ever seen them? They are so amazing. They have the phantom quartz is amethyst, but inside of it, it looks like a little ghost. It's just a speck of white in there, and it's so beautiful. So that is perfect. And of course, you know, moldavite is like, you can't go wrong with moldavite for the galactic, right? So there's a lot of different things, and I've got all of these crystals, you know, just singing to me like, I want to go, I want to go. And I'm like, oh my gosh, you guys, I can't pack you all, right? But I'm going to make sure that I pack my my Phoenix, you know, rising from the ashes origami crystal, because, you know, the planets are going retrograde. Mercury, the planet of, you know, Mercury is the one planet that is allowed to travel in between the worlds. He can go anywhere, right? And he's going retrograde. And when a planet goes retrograde, you know, things go cattywampus right out in the outside world, but man, do you get the downloads. And he's going retrograde in Scorpio, which is you know, the depths of the ocean, and, you know, really diving deep and going deep into everything. And so if you have, you know, Phoenix rising from the ashes, you know, pennant, or, you know, anything, you know, fire quartz or carnelian, anything like that is going to be extremely, fire agate, really, really powerful to work with right now. So I'm going to close there. Thanks, guys, for listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I have a tendency to overshare, so I get reluctant to get on here because I know we've been on here long enough. So thank you for listening. Mwah. Yes.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. I I am just captivated by your passion and your enthusiasm, and your energy just has me on fire. So thank you so much for sharing all your lovely wisdom and for being here with us today. And thank you to all of you who've joined us. We love your shares. We love your participation and your energy. And we love Leslie's hat. It's a beautiful mushroom. Speaking of mycelium energy. So thank you, everybody, for coming to play, for sharing your wisdom, your inner children. Before we have Fate close us out officially, I'd love to invite Natalia if you have any closing thoughts that you'd love to leave us with before we end for the day. And then we'll pass it over to Fate, and we will see you all again next time. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone for your beautiful, beautiful shares. I'm still integrating and processing all the beautiful information that Maggie shared and Cassandra. And it's just, I feel like it's so powerful when we gather together and just share the knowledge, because we all have our own awareness, field, consciousness that we connect to. And when we share, it's almost like activates that, unlocks that new layer within us, and it creates that harmony, harmonization, unity consciousness that we connect and understand. Wow, it's like another layer is now integrating within myself because I witnessed that pure mirror reflection. And I just want to again reflect so much love and gratitude for each of your shares, for each of your reflections. It's so powerful to connect again. And right now, I feel next year will be even more of traveling, of going together into different grid points. We did the Zoom this year a lot, and now it's calling us, okay, now you created these little clusters, and now it's time to go into the air, breathe out all the information, connect, walk, activate each other, hug. I cannot wait to hug the souls that I will see soon. And yes, sending you so much love, gratitude, and let's do more of those adventures together. Kataraki konosikia aramate. Eya. Thank you.
All right. So amazing, so potent, so powerful. Oh, the little throat there. Yeah, just getting ready to kind of transition and close out. Thank you to every single person for all of your wonderful shares. One little plug I will give, once everybody lands back from Egypt, or if you're still here with us, we will be supporting you in many, many different ways. We have a grid play call that Miss Leni hosts twice weekly. It's Tuesdays and Thursdays starting at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the theme for tomorrow is Galactic grid play. So we like to play in a very galactic way, and then for Thursday it's a planetary grid play call. And for planetary, we weave within the planet, but also all the other planets within our solar system. So if that's something that resonates for you, we would love to have you spend time with us. Yeah, and if we can support you in any way whatsoever, we would love to support you. You can feel free to connect with us in whatever way is most aligned. Email, Telegram, we would love to just support you in whatever way is most aligned for you on your trip, and just sending you so much love. As we're closing out here, I really like to just kind of seal and integrate. You can use whatever method feels most aligned to you. I like to use my breath. I like to weave specifically with like a golden infinity symbol. So feel free to seal and integrate this space, calling forward our record keepers, the Akashic keepers, unified Akashic keepers as well, to update the Akash, update our personal records. Taking a moment here to call back into the now moment your intentions that we set earlier. Knowing that your intention that you spoke into the field is very powerful, builds your reality. And by calibrating together on these calls, we kind of co-activate and co-weave together. Breathing that intention in or rebreathing it in. Getting those wiggles in too. Letting that kind of quantum flow, 0 point energy, just kind of move through us, releasing that quantum field, releasing the 0 points, thinking of all of our guides, all of our helpers, gods, goddesses, deities, who step forward to assist us today, all of our councils, soul aspects, solar rishi, solar logos, solar councils. Kianakatar, kutu ukinatar, kiyoko ukihianata, kiku, hakiyoko, kiyaka, kishisho. There's, I'm hearing there's definitely, take time to integrate as well. And you can call it into completion in your sleep too, in the dream space. That's a space that's very active for me, and it's great because not only can you rest, but you can also like integrate a lot of these frequencies as we're calling in what's coming forward for our friends here very soon in Egypt, and also like fully harmonizing those frequencies and calling the 1111 portal into completion, looking forward to bookending our year together, remembering all of our friends in community, not just those that are here today, whether they're listening on the playback or whether they're sailing on the new goddess in the now moment. Just sending them so much love, sending them so much like smiles and friendship. I'm watching like dancing as well too. It's like a little the Galactic children as well, and our inner children are so happy. I remember we had like a little birthday party in the Noon Goddess. And even though I wasn't like conscious for it, I was like there in a way. Yeah, Noon Goddess dance party, absolutely. I hope that you guys keep that going for the next year, because it was, and I know the sound has been upgraded too, so I feel like the vibes are going to be vibing all over the ship in like different little places. But yeah, just calling all of our energy back to us, cleansed and cleared. Any energy that isn't ours, that stepped forward, calling that back, sending it into the void to be alchemized, transmuted for the greater good of humanity. Feel free to hop on the Telegram and share any messages. We have an Egypt-specific channel, so feel free to dig through that. We would love to see your photos and hear all of your really cool stories. And don't hesitate to reach out to any of us on the call, me and Leni. We absolutely love connecting with you. We're here to support you in the most aligned way. Thank you, Maggie, Natalia, every single person on this call, sending you so much love, and can't wait to chat with you here very soon. All right, take care. Feel free to unmute, and we will see you very soon, hopefully tomorrow. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you so much.
Aloha.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy Hearts.